Imagine waking up, the morning light filtering softly through your window. But before you even step out of bed, there is a familiar, unwelcome guest waiting for you. The stiffness in your joints, the dull ache in your knees, the tightness gripping your lower back, the heavy, unyielding resistance in your shoulders. For many of us, this morning friction feels like an absolute and inevitable toll of passing years. Society constantly tells us that growing older inherently means shrinking, stiffening, and slowly retreating from the vibrant, effortless movement of our youth. We are conditioned by everything around us to believe that this bodily decline is a heavy tax we simply must pay for the privilege of time. But what if this widespread belief is fundamentally flawed? What if the stiffness and heaviness we feel are not a life sentence handed down by our age, but rather a simple misunderstanding of our own physical and mental nature? Today, we are going to explore a profoundly different perspective, one that sweeps away the anxiety of aging. We will journey back centuries to uncover a forgotten truth about the human body and the resilience of the mind. It turns out that morning stiffness and joint pain are not merely modern complaints. They are timeless human challenges that some of history's greatest minds faced and beautifully overcame. You are about to discover how the ancient philosophy of Stoicism holds the ultimate secret to unlocking your body's enduring vitality. Prepare to realize that your joints can remain supple, your spirit can remain unbroken, and your later years can become the most deeply fulfilling and physically liberated chapter of your life. When we think of the ancient Stoics, we often picture cold marble statues of stern men in robes, men who seemed entirely detached from the physical world. We tend to imagine them as purely intellectual beings, residing solely in the untouchable realm of the mind. But this is a profound historical misconception. True Stoicism, as practiced by giants of philosophy like Epictetus and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, was deeply and intrinsically intertwined with the physical body. Epictetus, born a slave, endured severe physical hardships throughout his early life. His leg was deliberately broken by his master, leaving him with a lifelong limp and chronic daily pain. Yet Epictetus did not view his damaged body as a prison or an excuse for quiet despair. Instead, he saw his physical form as a vessel of his own agency, a garden that required daily, deliberate, and loving tending. He taught his students that while we cannot always control the biological hands of time or the physical injuries inflicted upon us by fate, we hold absolute and sovereign dominion over how we respond to them. The Stoics believed deeply in the concept of sympatheia, the fundamental interconnectedness of all things, especially the profound and delicate link between the human mind and the human body. To neglect the body was to neglect the mind. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful emperor of the known world, faced the relentless physical toll of military campaigns deep into his later years. He slept on cold ground, endured freezing rain, and felt the deep aches of a body strained by immense, crushing responsibility. Yet in his private journals, he repeatedly reminded himself to embrace the dawn, to rise gracefully and do the work of a human being, regardless of physical resistance. For the Stoics, maintaining physical mobility was not about vanity or a desperate, futile attempt to cling to lost youth. It was an act of profound self-respect, They understood that the body is the living instrument through which we express our virtues to the world. A rigid, unmoving body eventually reflects a rigid, unmoving mind. Therefore, the discipline of the body, the act of keeping the joints fluid, the breath deep, and the posture upright, was considered a highly spiritual practice. They believed that by leaning gently into physical discomfort, by refusing to surrender to stagnation, we cultivate an inner fortress that protects us against the unpredictable storms of aging. How do we carefully translate this powerful ancient wisdom into our modern, everyday mornings? We absolutely do not need to embark on grueling, exhausting workouts or force our aging bodies into unnatural contortions. The Stoic approach to physical maintenance is beautifully rooted in gentle consistency and deep, unwavering awareness. It begins by seamlessly weaving mental perspective with soft, restorative physical movements. First, we must practice the art of the mindful dawn. Tomorrow, before you even throw off the covers, as the familiar ache of morning stiffness makes itself known, simply pause. Do not react with the usual frustration or quiet resignation. Instead, adopt the grand perspective of Marcus Aurelius observing a natural phenomenon in the wild. Acknowledge the stiffness simply as a sensation, a neutral signal that your body has been resting deeply and now requires a gentle, patient awakening. Slowly, with deliberate intention, begin to articulate your joints right there in the warmth of your bed. Circle your wrists and ankles, feeling the smooth rotation of the bones. Gently bring your knees toward your chest, stretching the lower back with immense care. This is not merely a physical warm-up. It is a powerful declaration of intent. You are reclaiming your sovereign mobility before your feet even touch the floor, transforming the narrative of morning pain into a peaceful ritual of preparation. Second, we integrate the Stoic concept of controlled adaptation through the practice of the fluid spine. The spine is the central pillar of our vitality, the highway of our nervous system. Throughout the day, gravity and modern living compress this pillar, leading to a deep stiffness that radiates out to the hips and shoulders. Find a comfortable place to sit on the edge of your bed or stand tall in your living room. Inhale deeply, imagining a warm, golden thread pulling the crown of your head gently toward the sky, creating vital space between each vertebra. As you exhale, softly round your shoulders and tuck your chin, feeling a beautiful stretch along the back of your neck. Inhale again and open your chest wide to the room, drawing your shoulder blades together. This rhythmic, wave-like motion, repeated slowly and thoughtfully, naturally lubricates the spinal discs and awakens the body. As you perform this movement, remind yourself of Epictetus's famous resilience. Just as the mind must adapt flexibly to the changing circumstances of life, the spine must remain fluid to support you. Finally, we embrace the practice of grounded stability. As we age, the subconscious fear of losing balance can make us physically rigid, which ironically tightens our joints further. We must confidently anchor ourselves to the earth. Stand barefoot, feeling the solid ground beneath you. Shift your weight gracefully from one leg to the other. Notice the complex network of muscles in your feet, working to keep you safe and upright. Place your hands on your hips and make slow, deliberate circles, opening the hip joints which carry so much of our tension. You are cultivating a body that is rooted like an ancient oak, deeply connected to the earth, yet completely flexible in its branches. As we reach the end of our journey today, it is essential to beautifully reframe exactly what it means to grow older. The aches and the stiffness you feel are not a cosmic punishment, nor are they a signal to stop living your life to the fullest. They are simply the gentle, honorable markers of a life that has been truly lived, of a faithful body that has carried you safely through decades of rich experience, joy, and profound challenge. To age gracefully is not to desperately mimic the appearance or the frantic pace of youth. It is to step fully and confidently into your power as a mature, resilient, and deeply wise human being. By applying the enduring wisdom of the Stoics, by moving your joints with daily intention, gratitude, and gentle discipline, you actively preserve what truly matters. You preserve your absolute independence, your joyous capacity to explore, and your invaluable ability to engage meaningfully with the world and the people around you. You are not a fading ember slowly losing its heat. You are a deeply rooted tree, growing richer, stronger, and more wonderfully complex with every passing season. Every single time you choose to stretch instead of surrender, you are standing up to the changes that come with life. Thank you for walking this peaceful path of ancient wisdom and modern vitality with us today. If you found comfort and practical value in these words, please join our growing community by subscribing. Together, we will continue to unlock the beautiful secrets of living fully, moving freely, and mastering the magnificent art of getting better with time.